Hello, everybody. Welcome back, or welcome. I'm Elise as Another Truth here on YouTube. I do commentary, sometimes reaction videos, and mishmash videos, and gossip, and so on. Today, we're going to talk about Without a Crystal Ball, who is also known as Katie Joy, Katie Paulson, and her least favorable moniker, KJ. And she is what I would refer to as a tabloid based channel where she talks about um, reality TV people, where she stalks weird people and manipulates people and all that. That's just my opinion. Like everything else in this video, it's my opinion, my perspective, my understanding of what's going on. Don't take it as fact. Please read my video description and my channel description to understand why I say this. All right, so I grabbed this from WOACB versus WOACB on Instagram. So thank you to WOACB versus WOACB for archiving this gem. So I realize this is almost 10 years old. People's perspectives change, people grow. I don't believe that in this case Katie Joy has grown. She still very much has, in my opinion, resented her family, her child, and in my opinion, she uses her child sort of as a shield to protect herself against any type of legal or social adversity, as well as it helps her financially somehow, in my opinion. So this is what she posted about 10 years, almost 10 years ago. Today I'm tired. I am drained and I feel like crawling into a ball and hiding from the world. Vaughn qualified. Vaughn is her son. Speech and cognitive therapy, which is great, but it just means two more people that are part of this already crowded team that helps him. Wow, crowded, huh? I know I should feel really happy that we're getting the help, but I'm having a moment of I am really, really annoyed that this is our life. Well, too fucking bad, isn't it? Why can't we have the kid that just gets things? Why can't he not be ill? Why does he have to have all these special needs? Oh boy. It's a roller coaster ride that I feel absolutely stuck on. And I hate that when I look ahead, it seems so ambiguous and uncertain. Doctors can't say how he will be in the future. They don't know how the disease has impacted his brain. I don't know what disease she's referring to. And we have no idea what delays or damage has been done by the low blood sugar. Was it the low blood sugar, Katie Joy? I know there are pieces missing. Pieces missing of what? Some of the dots in his brain are not connecting. He can't get there, but it seems so unfair that we have to fight to get him just to be normal. What the fuck do you mean you have to fight just to get him to be normal? I know people say it could be worse or that he was given to me because I can handle it. I doubt anybody said that to you, and if they did, they're stupid. What if I can't handle this? What if I'm just so drained and exhausted I feel like beating my head into a wall? Well, how's that going to help your son? I love Vaughn with my whole heart, but this disease can seriously kiss my butt today. All right, I'll give you my opinion. First of all, I am a mother to two children. Okay? They're grown up now. They're adults. They weren't born with some of the problems, the more ambiguous problems that I guess Vaughn has had, or so Katie Joy claims. I don't know what disease she's referring to. I don't know what illness she is referring to or what anything would look like in the future. I don't know what the low blood pressure at this point. This post does not tell me anything other than outside of the expectation that she thinks she was entitled to have a complicated, free child that never needed anything from her. She got directly the opposite. And it's somehow an affront to everything who she is, she stands for, because she doesn't see her child as an individual, as a person who might have a different set of needs or goals. I do not know what it's like to be in the position of raising a child with numerous complications, health stuff. I do not want to deny anybody's feelings, but from what I gather from my own audience, well, I shouldn't say my own audience, the people who contribute to this channel by expressing their own experiences and feelings in the comment section, they felt the complete opposite. That they had done everything that they could to take care of their children. And sometimes personal expectations and feelings and things are not important. What's important is helping your child get through to become the best that they can be, whatever that means. Like I said, don't take it from me. I do not have medically challenged children. One of my children does have a late diagnosis of autism. There is nothing to normalize, okay? I just have to talk to him in a different way. I have to, not in a different way, but in a way like how I used to. I mean, nothing really is like much has changed, but there are going to be some times where he's going to need a lot of space, or he's going to need um, maybe some help with some things or something. I don't know. All I know is that I can't expect him to be anything else other than himself. And it's my job to alter the way that I communicate with him and work with him and spend time with him and things to make sure that he's comfortable. I mean, he's an adult, he can make his choices. I won't win Mother of the Year. I've never won it, I never will, but I can respect his boundaries and his choices and the fact that he does have autism. It's just another way of looking at the world. I don't see it as a disease. I don't see it as hopeless. I have worked with people with what I would consider they were, how do I say this? Because the way that we would say this 25, 30 years ago is not the same as we would say it today. But some people had more behavioral issues. Some of them exhibited dangerous behaviors. When I say dangerous, it's just because their reaction to stimuli. It doesn't mean that they're mean, they're nasty, they're hateful. No, quite the opposite. And there were circumstances why these human beings were especially aggressive. I can't go into anything confidentiality even to this day, but they had home lives. They were very restricted, even well into their adulthood. You know, the parents did the best that they could, and I praised parents who have managed to care for their children, even in a time when they were urged to put them in institutions in the Fernald State School, which has been demolished for a long time now in Massachusetts. Actually, I don't think any part of Fernald is still open that I know of. But in any event, but once these human beings got into independent living with other people, and as they got older, their behavior changed because they had more choice-making opportunities. They had more freedoms they could earn certain types of privileges in a way that makes sense to an adult. So there was none of this just trying to get by during the day. It was independence that they wanted. Now, it's more complicated, but I've seen dramatic changes. I mean, even to this day, I still see some of the people that I used to work with, and they're flourishing, even in their elderly years. It's amazing. So I don't know what else was going on with Vaughn on top of whatever it is Katie Joy claimed. But and listen, I'm not judging mothers here, all mothers or anything, but Katie Joy's response, knowing what I have seen in her behavior toward her son even to this day, I think she had some kind of expectation that he should have been born so quote unquote normal. What the fuck is normal anyway? What is normal anyway? That they don't ask questions, they don't challenge you, they don't test you. That's not being normal. So Katie Joy wanted a compliant child from day one, which is obnoxious and self-centered in my opinion. It just means it's two more people that are part of this already crowded team. I know I should feel real happy we're getting help. You should feel fucking privileged and that people want to reach out. Okay? I work with different doctors myself. I have psychiatrists, psychologists. I have to go to physical therapy now, but it's fine. It'll get better in time. But I learned I needed to get some physical therapy for my knee, which is fine. There was no damage or anything. I just having some trouble with it. So I need to go to physical therapy. Okay, yeah, and there's so many specialists, and it costs money, and it takes a lot of time, and it's involving a lot of professionals. Believe me, it's exhausting. It's exhausting to do it, even for an adult that has her shit together, kind of. All right, I have a dermatologist. I have an ophthalmologist. People that help me get better, on top of having a primary care person and having to go get my blood pressure checked every 3 months. It's or not every 3 months, every month. It's just part of getting better and getting well. And be grateful that you had access to that, because it's for him, it wasn't for you. Why can't we have the kid that just gets things? No, kids just don't get things. Why would you even say that? Yeah, my kids got strep throat, the common cold. I mean, I was always up to date with their vaccinations. I did everything I could. Some had allergies, some had anxiety. But I didn't think, well, why didn't I just get a normal kid? When they were growing up. I mean, that's ridiculous. Why can't he not be ill? Kids get sick. Why does he have to have all these special needs? Because he has all these special needs. Now, I don't know how much of it you invented and made it worse than what it is so you can get attention. But it seems you're struggling with the behavior part of this because you just wanted him to be silent and in a corner and not disobey you in any way. I'm not saying you put him in the corner, but that's what I imagine. It's a roller coaster ride that I feel absolutely stuck on, and I hate that when I look ahead it seems so ambiguous and uncertain. In time, you'll look back on this. And that's that time now, because isn't he a tween now? Isn't he, 11 now, 12? I don't know. And what are you still doing? You're still exploiting him. You're still using him as a shield. You don't properly educate him. You don't respond to him in a respectful, polite manner. You have nothing to do with his the loving discipline he needs to learn boundaries. You've done nothing. You've done nothing but push him aside. So you can argue with idiots on the internet, and you can, harass your critics. And I didn't mean them to be the idiots. I'm talking about some of these weirdos she covers. Some of them, not all of them. There was no missing pieces of his brain. You act like this kid's a freak or a monster. There are people who are functioning on half a brain to stop awful seizures. Okay? There are people who've had parts of their brain removed to be able to function, and I'm talking about the ethical types of surgery. The ethical types of things that are life-saving. What the fuck, Katie Joy? He can get there, but it seems unfair that we have to fight to get him. You don't have to have him to be normal. He doesn't need to be normal. He needs to be himself. He needs to become his own person and grow into his own adulthood. What is it going to be like when he's an adolescent? How are you going to handle that? You're still not going to sleep in the same bed with him. Why would you even do that? If he's not that medically impaired, are you afraid he's going to do something to himself or someone else? Why isn't he going to school? Why isn't he getting external treatment if he has all these problems? I have no idea what you're doing here. I have no idea. I doubt anyone says that he was given to you because you can handle. You could never handle it. Life is unfair. People are given challenges they can't live up to. You're the one who made a decision and agreed to have a child so you can marry a man, instead of letting this man marry somebody who really wanted kids, and you could have had somebody else, who shared your child-free vision for the future. There wouldn't have been anything wrong with that. Nobody would have argued with you about that. You have a right to decide that. But you expected this child to be born a certain way, where I think you didn't even create the right environment for that to happen. The child was born, you didn't like the result, and you're fucking whining about it. You have an amazing kid. What if you couldn't handle this? Then you should have gotten therapy. You should have worked on yourself, because that was the problem. It was you. What if I'm just so drained and exhausted I feel like beating my head in the wall? Like I said before, what would that have done to Vaughn? Seeing you constantly frustrated. Of course it's going to frustrate him more. And I'm sure he's constantly frustrated because of you. You don't love Vaughn. You never did. You're more worried that he wasn't the perfection in your eyes he should have been. And that's a shame, because you had an opportunity to raise this cool kid. He's still a cool kid. He's still wonderful. He's still special. And you just throw the opportunity to mother him away. You still do it. It sucks. It totally sucks. Now, I appreciate the content creators coming out and really getting into the medical stuff that Katie Joy is saying about this, that Katie Joy has said about this, because there are a lot of inaccuracies and there's a lot of troubling things coming out from that. Cactus Bill has done an amazing job pointing that out. And whenever I can share something from Cactus Bill, I will about this, because this is much more than what it seems to be. Thanks for listening.